I'm just trying to get some insight into the world of cybersecurity as a whole. Like,
Hmm.
I know you're not a you don't specialize in like handling and creating cybersecurity, but you do have a lot of
No.
experience in experiencing it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, specifically at the University of Waterloo,
Mm-hmm.
what cybersecurity is like, because I know that I remember talking to you about some issues you were having with VPNs, and
Mm-hmm.
I know that is like a primary way of cybersecurity.
Yeah. So UW is unique because um, they have students logging in from all over the world to their systems, right?
Right.
And they have core systems like accounting and finance and a student registration and courses and exams that are all needing to be locked away safely, right? You don't want them hacked into. So cybersecurity is a big thing.
Right.
So
Okay.
what they, yeah, so what they have set up is if you go to the UW website, I'm just like Cybersecurity 101, right? They've got a website and they have a public facing website. But if you go to portions of the website, you actually have to log in to see things that are not public facing.
Oh.
So, for example, if you go to UW, University of Waterloo, and you go to the finance website, I do it every day. But anyway, you go to the finance website, and there's a section for students where students can log in and get to student-facing information, like the registration for courses, seeing what your financials are like, what your marks are like. And then there's another portal, or another login section for staff and faculty. And if you go to that, then you log into the things that staff and faculty have access to, like, financial pieces for the university, which is what I deal with.
Gotcha. So it's separated on a level of access through
Yes.
like what you're there to do, right? Okay,
Right.
that's
And
interesting.
and it's all set up based on your you'll love this. Everything is prefaced with a WAT for Waterloo, right?
Uh,
So the ID that you get when you start with the university or you're a student is called What I Am. WATIAM. And it is a login ID. It's your email, and you set up a password, and you get into the different domains with that What I Am piece.
that's a clever way to put it, actually. The
Isn't it?
little WAT. That's kind of because oh man, that's cool.
I know. It's hilarious. So if you try to log into something that they'll validate your login credentials based on your What I Am ID. So that's the piece you got to keep secure. Okay, so once
Gotcha.
I get into the staff and faculty piece on the finance site, I can see things that the general public can't.
Hmm.
And this is logging in from home, yada yada, whatever. There's also portions of systems that require two-factor authentication. On top of that, logging into that specialized area or servers, whatever, within UW.
Okay.
So, yeah, so there's layers of security, right?
Yeah.
So to get into some of the two-factor authentication pieces, and this is again based on the access that you have. So you can log into some systems with two-factor authentication just straight through regular login, and you don't need a VPN.
Right.
However, because I have access to like super sensitive things, I need to be using a VPN, a UW VPN, and two-factor authentication, and logged in as a staff member to get to the finance system.
Right.
So there's many layers before I can actually get into the finance system.
Gotcha. And I'm sure that this, like these systems are in place, either because people, you know, found a way to. I don't want to assume that things were broken for them to be fixed, but
No, I mean they're really good at anticipating. I mean UW is, I'm sure they've had instances where they've been hacked, but I'm pretty sure they haven't been held to ransom for their data or anything. There's nothing like that since I've been there.
well, that's
Yeah.
that is impressive nowadays as well as like the climate of access within like cyber space is a lot more general. I have personally have noticed a lot of I get emails all the time saying like, well, we kind of got hacked. Ooh.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I've had to delete a lot of accounts.
Yeah. Well, I get phishing emails all the time. I just delete them.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, I get an email.
And if there's something new, then I send it off to IT security and say, this seems to be a new phishing email. Can you please let me know? And they'll go back and they'll say, it is indeed a phishing email. Please delete. Okay, goodbye now.
I love it when I get an email with this like, your so-and-so bank account has been frozen because we've seen suspicious activity, and I do not have a bank account with that bank, and I'm like, that is
Or your Visa card has been temporarily suspended.
Yeah.
And we've suspended your social insurance number too.
It's like,
no, you haven't.
That's if you did, I wouldn't be getting an email about it.
Exactly. Or I get a voicemail from some, obvious boilerplate place telling me that I've been hacked and, I owe so much and I need to pay in Bitcoin or whatever. I'm like, press 1 to it, and I'm like, I'm not pressing anything except delete.
Yeah. Or, in the case of a phone call, if I see a number that I don't recognize, just don't pick it up.
Exactly. Well, and because if you pick it up and you say yes, they've got that on recording.
Yep, they have.
You have to be extremely careful how you answer things. Or when they say, "Oh, hello, is this Daniel Sy?" You go, "Yes," and I go, "Okay, we got that recorded." Right?
Yeah, they like design questions to get you to say certain things, or like they'll intentionally say something too fast, or like they'll try to get you to say like what or pardon me, as a you do have to be really careful. It does come down sometimes to just being able to recognize when things are a little bit fishy, if you excuse the pun.
Fishy with the PH, yes.
Yeah. But as far as what you've told me so far, this is, I didn't think that it went that deep. I thought it would be like, two-factor authentication and accounts, and that would be about it, but...
Oh, no. This is, it is deep. And I'm not sure. I don't have access to everything, obviously. And that's just the public-facing websites, right? Right. And the websites that I can get into. There's additional servers and files and everything. There's additional things that I have to be in VPN to get access to.
Right.
So, that's just the websites. So, to access any of the files and things, my working files, or any of the things that I've got on the UW file servers also requires security to get into.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I have hit all the questions. I actually have one last one, and it's kind of like a wrap-up question. If you had the opportunity to see something that, if you have seen or experienced something that you would want to see improved in regards to this system, is there anything in mind that you have, or?
Yes, I would require rotating passwords, because that's something they don't require.
Okay.
You don't have to. You don't ever have to change your password, and I think that's a risk.
Right.
Because if it's out there somewhere and they actually get a hold of it, they're in.
Yeah, and if you, for some reason, don't log into an account, or in this case, your university account after you, because I know you continue to keep that university account after you graduate, or?
It's changed to an alumni account, and your access changes. But that's the same thing for you. When you graduate Waterloo, you will have 30 or 60 days to remove your data, because your access changes. You're no longer Daniel Sy at Laurier, whatever. You will be Daniel Sy alumni.
Oh. Okay, so the access changes and the type of account changes.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It makes perfect sense. And I'm not sure if you have to change your password. I would hope you do.
Yeah, and if you're not required to change your password, it's probably a good idea to anyway.
Yes.
I thank you for letting me sit here and ask you questions, and
no problem.
Yeah,
And I've got access to finance systems and the general stuff that I need to do my job, like email and Teams and that. But there are other people who have additional layers of security because they do even more interesting things like IT.
Right.
Because they have their software can take over your computer.
Oh yeah, the remote access, right?
Right. So, there's different things for them, but I've just given you an idea of what it's like for me.
Perfect. And I think as far as time goes, we should be good to leave it there. So thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome.